One of the first pieces that we looked at with a group of acceleration for developmental was the fact that we are losing our students with those momentum loss points. And so we had a group of curriculum instructors along with our developmental ed folks to sit down, really look at the data, and that's kind of like our aha moment. I know our college had never set a group of people down, looked at the data, and actually said, this is not working. So, what are we going to do to retain and get these students to complete? So we've got to come up with some new ideas.
We've had lots and lots of conversations around that. What does this data say to you and about your students? And what would you like to improve upon based upon this? So taking it right back into, how does it impact me? What do I need to do differently?
And using their interpretation,
and
not
using
us telling them, but using their interpretation about what they feel
Yeah.
is important.
Right now, we're at the stage where we have looked at some of our KPI data that was provided to us. We're trying to make some decisions data-wise about which of those we want to try to continue and keep up with in-house. We are also working now on the planning phase to run some focus groups at the institution. We're going to start with faculty and staff focus groups coming up here in the next month, and then following the beginning of the new term in January, we'll launch some student focus groups.
I think that the data that we're gathering for this initiative is the data we should be gathering anyway. So we're all interested in student success, right? So we've always had grade distribution data and retention data, but this data that we're gathering now will tell us, well, so what if the student got an A in English 111? Did he complete the degree, right? Did he transfer? So I think we're gonna get hopefully better data about maybe why those things are happening. One of the questions we might ask is, so if as a result of these structured pathways, a student takes that math class earlier, does that mean the student, and is successful, does that mean the student is going to complete the degree faster? Is it the student more likely to complete a degree? Is the acceleration through the developmental sequence meaning that students are actually getting into those curriculum classes more quickly, or are they just stopping there? If they get into the curriculum classes more quickly, are they more successful? Are they completing the degree?
You certainly can go into Datatel, into our system and pull global data. You certainly can pull pass rates, but I think the ability going forward is how can we dig down into that data a little bit more, because I used to teach math, and when you look at who is in my math class, I have students that have never taken that class before. I have students that maybe have taken that class 4 or 5 times before. I have students that have taken the class and maybe haven't come back in for 2 years and are now coming back. I have people that are 40 years old and haven't seen math in 20 or 25 years. So having better data like that could say, so who am I seeing in front of me, and how can I maybe redesign or reconfigure what I do to address their needs?
Our biggest issue at Martin Community College is really analyzing what's happening to our students from first semester to persistence to the second semester, and that's really where the focus of our attention's been. And we're able to analyze exactly who those students are, what courses they're taking, are they getting trapped in Dev Ed, or Introduction to Biology, anatomy and physiology, those college algebra. Those are courses that students can get stuck in just as easy as developmental education and keep them from getting their credential.
I think the data has been useful in terms of learning more about different student groups. Learning that the students transfer out was not a surprise. Learning that they transfer out without an associate degree was not a surprise. But learning that they don't really complete the bachelor's at what we would have thought, at what level we would have thought, was a surprise.
Decisions are being made based upon data now, which is new for us, but it's also very important for us.
And what I have seen at Central Piedmont, and I think this is probably true of the other cadre colleges, I've seen my own staff become more of the leaders at the college and more willing to go to meetings, take data and tables and spreadsheets and try to present them in creative ways and try to just sit down with faculty and try to help them understand and explore the data.